Hello, I am Janice.
And I am Patrice.
And we are Heritage and Horizons. Welcome to another video. And before we go on, we need to really thank you for everyone who subscribed, who liked, and who shared, and who also clicked on the notification bell. Now, we're growing slowly and we're patient. However, we're asking you, please, to like, to share, to subscribe, and to hit the notification bell so you will be informed once a video is dropped on a Monday or a Thursday.
I do want to show off our cute little shirts. We're official, y'all.
Yeah.
We have t-shirts.
Yeah.
So
we're getting there.
We're getting there, exactly. So today we are going to talk about one of our favorite vacations. But before we even get to it, I want to know, do you guys like cruises? Because in general, as a family, we have always enjoyed cruises. However, I think this one is for the books.
And I can't wait for you to hear what we have to say.
We went on not one, but 2 Virgin Voyage cruises.
Yay!
So Virgin is a cruise line that we kind of talked about in a previous video. It is owned by Richard Branson and his Virgin brand, so it's very on brand. We talked about Brightline being not quite on brand with the red and white, but all of the Virgin cruises are red and white themed. So when we first went on a Virgin cruise, Richard Branson only had, I think, 4 ships sailing. I think he's increased it now. And fun fact, each of the actual ships are named after women. And women are painted. We're going to drop a picture of I think the first cruise ship that we went on. But we're going to talk a little bit about some of the pieces of the process and our thoughts on the process.
Okay. So before anything happens, we have to book. And I have to tell you that the booking process, Patrice knows so much more about it because she's the booking management of the group.
So I can't take full credit. Our friends, the first cruise we went on, our friends booked most of it. We just had to call in and kind of arrange our part of it. But I think they probably hire the happiest people on the planet.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. So everyone that we spoke to during the process, very friendly, super excited for us to be booking. And I would assume that they let the folks who are in the registration area also stay there because they had lots of recommendations as well. So the booking process was super easy. It was very thorough, and it was very upbeat. The person that I spoke to, the reservationist, was very nice.
Good. And I also need to tell you to watch this video all the way to the end, because at the end, we're going to be dropping in some evidence of some of the things we did while we were on both Virgin cruises. Okay, so we're booked, we're ready to go, bags are packed, and at some point we're going to show you how we pack for a trip. And I have to tell you, I am always the one to get ready first.
Always.
It's another story here. But the minute that the airfare is booked or the train ride is booked or the cruise is booked, I start my notes. What are the things I'm going to take? And then listing the things I'm going to take. And so we're going to show you some of the things we do to get ready for our trips. So checking in was really smooth. When we went on the Caribbean cruise, we did not have to go very far because we live in South Florida. But when we went on the Greece cruise, then we had to fly. And the check-in, once we sent our luggage off, we never saw them again until we got to Athens. And when we got to Athens and cleared everything, and we got to the dock, the port, once our luggage was handed over to the folks at Virgin, we never saw them again until we got to our rooms. And did I feel comfortable? Absolutely, I was comfortable, just knowing that I did not have to worry about my bag ever again until I get on board. And the party starts the minute you're waiting to hand over your luggage. Oh, the people, the workers, oh my goodness, the other sailors. We're not called cruisers when you're in Virgin, you're called sailors. The other sailors, everybody's in such a happy party mood, right up my alley.
So when you're checking in, you go into a line, you do the passport and everything, and they give you a red wristlet that has a little device attached to it, and that's what you use for everything. So that's how you get into your room. That's how you pay for anything. That's how they kind of identify you as well. So that wristlet is what you get, and then you're off to the sailings.
Yeah.
So check-in was slightly different on both of the cruises once you got on the boat, because in Greece you had an app that you were able to download, and you booked all of your things on that app. In Miami,
things as in cruises, as in tours, and
your
meals,
reservations, and everything.
Yes.
So in Miami, it was not quite like that. On the app, you basically had to go to a line and stand in line in order to book your restaurants. Not quite sure the thought process behind that, because it was a little chaotic, but it did move fast. And again, you can't beat the service on the cruise. Did we mention too that the Virgin cruises are kid-free?
Oh.
Kid-free. You have to be 18 and up to go on that Virgin cruise.
Yes.
So that was quite evident. The mature crowd was quite evident on the cruise.
Yes. Now, on to my favorite, not my favorite, but one of my top favorite things is the food. Remember, I told you I love to eat. The fact that there are no buffets on a Virgin cruise just made eating so much more relaxing.
Now, they did have an area for grab-and-go food, but there were no buffets.
Right. And I loved that for us. So the restaurants are many, and they are themed restaurants for the most part. And we made sure to try every single one. One of my favorites was the test kitchen, because I tried to have an open palate. I like to experience different kinds of food to an extent. There are some things that I'm not sure I'm going to try. But the test kitchen was very, very good, very professionally done. And the food, like all the other restaurants, was wonderful. Which was your favorite restaurant?
Well, I would say, I don't know if I could say my favorite, but the Mexican restaurant, I think it was called Pink Agave. And the Italian restaurant, which I cannot remember the name of that one right now, probably my favorites. Pink Agave, the food was good and the drinks were even better. But I'm gonna give an extra shout out for the experience of the food as well, because there was a Korean restaurant that we went to, at least in Greece. I don't remember if it was in on the Miami ship, but I don't know if it always is like that. But they were playing 90s hip hop on a Virgin cruise in a Korean restaurant. I was in heaven. So if you don't know anything about Richard Bronson, he also owns Virgin. So there's music and entertainment in everything that he does. So the restaurants had music as well. So it was fun to see the variety in that case. But going back to the food itself, I mean, very clean ingredients, very specific. If you have a specific dietary need, it was definitely there. You can tell that they don't prepackage anything. Things were fresh. There was one area where you would consider like a buffet, the grab and go type thing. It wasn't like box food grab and go. It was like pretty good. Grab and go sushi, grab and go burgers. You got breakfast there. It was just, I don't know. I can't even explain how fantastic the food was. Drinks were not included. Alcohol, I should say, was not included. You had to purchase them a la carte. But it was definitely worth it. They were really quality ingredients in both the food and the drinks.
And you could tell that there is an emphasis on trying to make the cruise line as eco-friendly as possible. Yeah, there were so many opportunities for us to not waste, not throw things here or just do away with things just because. So I really have to give Richard Branson and his team credits, kudos for being conscious of our environment.
Absolutely. And I think there's something we want to also mention. There's also included Wi-Fi. You can upgrade to a larger or better package, but I think the Wi-Fi suited us well.
Yes.
So the food and the Wi-Fi, just outstanding.
Yes, very, very good. Now, speaking of grab and go, we love to go and tour when we travel. Not go totally off the beaten track, but go to places that probably some people would not want to go to. So we went touring. Sometimes we grabbed a tour bus if we realized that once we get off the boat, we didn't have enough time. Sometimes we did that. But other times, like I think in Bodrum, we just walked and walked and walked and walked and met upon things. And, I had to talk to people. And also I had to shop. Yes. So, yes. When you think of the tours that we went on, which one stands out most to you?
Well, I have to give a special shout out to Jasmine because she actually researched and planned one of our Greece tours. And so our Greece cruise was 4 different islands in Turkey, I think, or was it 3 different islands? 3 different islands in Turkey. So Bodrum, Turkey is where we went, where we really didn't have a plan and had a good time. But Jasmine did plan for us a trip, a guided tour that was pretty informative. It was like 4 hours and it kind of zoomed by. So I say that one was pretty good, but I do like the spontaneity of just going someplace and kind of figuring something out. One of the places that we went to, we just decided to hop on one of those hop on and hop off buses. And I like those too. They seem kind of corny to some people, but I like them because you get to see what the city has to offer in one package.
And I did not realize that I love blue and white until I went to Santorini. Oh, such a beautiful place. Oh, that white background with those blue doors. Oh, so beautiful. You have to wait for the pictures at the end of this.
So beautiful.
So the tours.
Can I interrupt with the tours?
Sure.
So on our second cruise, which was in the Caribbean, we were slated to go to Key West and to Bimini, Bahamas. And obviously, when you go on a cruise in Florida during the off season is hurricane season. So there was this whole like really bad storm that happened, and we were not able to get off the boat for our Bimini stop. And really the cruise ship did a fantastic job as far as trying to kind of squash our disappointment a little bit. We had already had a credit for the ship, so we decided to go to the spa and spend the whole day at the spa.
Oh, yes.
It was fantastic.
It was lovely.
But they handed out champagne. They basically got you so drunk that you didn't worry about the fact that you weren't able to go on the ship, and they upped the entertainment on the ship itself. So I think they made up for.
And in case you're wondering, being out there in a bad thunderstorm, because it wasn't a hurricane, it was a bad thunderstorm, the ship feels or felt the same. There was no rocking, and as you would see in the movies, no, nothing like that. The ship was stable, and we were kept very, very safe. And it was really in our best interest why they decided not to go off the ship to go to Bimini. So we'll just have to do another trip.
I like it.
So we have to do Bimini. Patrice has been to Bimini. I have not been to Bimini. So, I have to get to Bimini somehow.
And Bimini is a short boat ride from South Florida.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the top things about the Virgin Cruise is the entertainment. If you thought the food, if we're telling you that the food was good, the entertainment was beyond expectations.
Absolutely.
And I usually go into new experiences with a wide open expectations. And the entertainment, now, you have to be open to all different kinds of lifestyles in order to relax and enjoy the cruises. People performed their selves off for us, and we were fully entertained. Anything else about the entertainment?
I really felt like it was very Vegas, Cirque du Soleil kind of stuff. Not necessarily like a corny, cheesy cruise ship entertainment, but there were lots of different things to do as well. There were fitness classes that you can take. There were cooking classes. There were mixology classes. And then in the evening, of course, it's a cruise, so you're going to have gambling. But they also had dances, performances, all sorts of things wrapped in. There's one night where everyone wears red pajamas in order to be entertained. So they have themes as well. So it was really good. I enjoyed it. And most of the things are of an adult theme. And like Mommy said, we appreciate the fact that they really try to include everyone and make everyone feel comfortable on the cruise. And it makes for a better cruise experience, I think.
And a very casual cruise experience. You didn't have to get dressed up. You could wear your Heritage and Horizon t-shirts and you would be fine. Very, very comfortable, very relaxing. And if you didn't want to participate in any of that, then you could lounge. You could go on the deck. You could just enjoy the water. And speaking of deck, we had an outside room. And so we had a hammock.
It was beautiful. It was wonderful. I think I spent more time on the hammock than I did my bed on one of the cruises. And we didn't even get to talk about the rooms. I think it's probably one of the better cruise rooms we've had.
Yes.
The whole room is state of the art, so you can control everything from a laptop, from an iPad. And then it was pretty spacious considering you could move the beds into different configurations, which is not new on cruises, but it was pretty neat. The room service as well as the laundry service wasn't horribly expensive. I enjoyed it. I think that they probably could have done a better design of the shower part itself because everything got wet when you took a shower. But in general, I think it was one of the best rooms that I've stayed in on a cruise.
Yeah. And because the walls are metallic, then you could have magnets sticking up on the areas where you want to hang an extra towel or so, even if the cruise did not, the amenities on the cruise did not meet your expectations for where to hang your stuff. You could always take your little metal clips, hooks, and put them on and you're good to go.
Yeah. I'm going to manifest it that we're going to get one day rock star status. Rock star status on the Virgin Cruise means you get this huge room and all these extra amenities and activities that are planned just for people on rock star status. So one day we'll get there for sure.
From your lips to God's ears. And at some point, we're also going to share with you how we manage to pay for all this travel that we do. Yes. So we're going to tell you about that because we're not rich by any stretch of the imagination. And for my senior citizens, if you have been on cruises, what are some of the things that you have enjoyed from a senior citizen perspective? Drop that in the comments and let me know. Or if you have any ideas and on any cruises that you've been on that you think we just need to try, let us know.
Yeah, because normally we've been Carnival people, and there's nothing wrong with Carnival. Carnival is a good time, let me tell you. But we want to experience different things, so let us know. I think we went on Royal Caribbean for a wedding once, but other than that, we've done Carnival most of our cruise experiences as a family and by myself. So
and we've sailed out of Palm Beach to the Bahamas on the local, I call it the local cruise line, Margaritaville it's now called. And that, it's a cruise. So a quick getaway from West Palm Beach to the Bahamas, 2 nights, 3 days, or 3 days, 2 nights, and you sail away and relax and you're back. So my senior citizen folks, tell me, what do you do on cruises and how do you afford your cruises?
So I know we both thoroughly enjoyed Virgin. We loved it so much. While we were on our Greek cruise, we bought our a credit towards our second cruise. That's how much we loved it. And if I could afford it, I would have bought another one at that time. But if you could change anything about the Virgin Cruise, what do you think you would change?
I think the pool area. I remember being in the jacuzzi with some of our friends, and we had taken up all of the space, so there was nobody else that could get into the jacuzzi at that time. So we hurried our conversation. I was actually doing marriage counseling with all these young folks.
I wasn't there.
She didn't even know where I was. So even when we're on a cruise, we still go our solo ways and do our thing. But yes, so if I would change anything, that would be the thing that I would change. Just improve or increase the number of pool areas, if possible. I know that, the ship is heavy as it is and with so many bodies on it, but I have faith that Mr. Bronson and his team will come up with an idea.
I will agree with you. You can tell that the design of the cruise was for people to lounge around because there were lots of little places, hidden places, out there places just for you to chill. indoor, outdoor, but the pool area was kind of small. So I agree with that. For me, I think when they did have parties, when they did have events, I think that the music was heavy on, and it could be because the first time was very European, and it's, European brand, an English brand. It was heavy on the techno, the doom 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 doom, and while I can handle that for for a good amount of time, and I'm a team player, even the '80s night, it wasn't really the variety that I was hoping for. It seemed very heavy on the techno, and it could have been a little more. I think, especially because they were in the Caribbean, we could have gotten a little more reggae. Even if they didn't want to do dance hall, they could have done reggae or even some salsa, some bachata, something like that. The variety, I think, of the music could have been a little better, especially considering it's Virgin Records. But I do think that if they were able to bring in maybe some other DJs, that would work pretty well. However, they definitely made it up with the live entertainment. There were lots of soul singers and kind of indie artists and R&B and that kind of thing, which is my jam. Of course, I know other people have other palettes, but that was pretty good. In a perfect world, we'd have a little hip hop in there and some dance hall, but I can't be greedy.
And you could always find a bar area with music and singing and people just having a good old time. Even if it's just the sailors creating their own party and you join the party. So I would say thumbs up to Virgin Cruise Lines. And of course, we'll be back.
We definitely will.
So remember not to log off, because you're going to see pictures coming up. And pictures are worth 1,000 words. Is that how it's said?
Yeah, a picture's worth 1,000 words.
A picture's worth 1,000 words.
Even if it's not how I said, that's how you said it.
So, thank you all for your time. Remember, as our little Eva says at the end, to like, share, and subscribe. Please share. And until the next video, we will see you again. But wait for the pictures. Yeah, bye.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to Heritage and Horizons.